Alright, so now that we've taken a deeper look into how to work with hyperlinks, let's go ahead and take a look at how to work with images within HTML. Now, we've already inserted an image into our HTML before this. So let's go ahead and change this H1 really quickly to let's play with images, just so we're consistent. And we're going to get rid of this ahref link here. And we're going to go ahead and insert an image. Now, if you recall correctly, the syntax is image. And let's go ahead and retype this because when I select IM, of course I can hit enter and it'll autocomplete. SRC, enter, and then we place the URL of our source. On top of that, we can also place an alt tag here, and within that we can give this some sort of text that sort of describes what our image is, and of course we would close that link off. Now, this URL doesn't necessarily have to be a URL from the World Wide Web. If you recall, we used a Google logo link earlier, and we also specified here the height, and also we specified the width. So when we insert an image straight into HTML, we do want to make sure if we have the height and the width available that we specify exactly what these are. Because if we don't, then when the page loads, we're going to see our image sort of flicker. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can actually include images within the folders of our website and access them directly. Let's start by creating a new folder. I'm going to go ahead and minimize, and I'm going to find my HTML practice folder here on my desktop. Now within this folder we should have an index.html, and we should still have that link.html. Now we could go ahead and just drag our images in here and link directly to them, but common practice would be to create a new folder within your website folder, and we're just going to call this folder images. And this is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to store our images. Let's go ahead and exit out of our HTML practice folder and head back into brackets. I did notice that I was doing this in link.html, and we need to be working in index.html. So let's go ahead, and we no longer need link.html. We're just using that to show how we can link to different pages. So I'm going to go ahead and hover over this little circle on the left and hit X here to delete this. And I'm going to go ahead and not save that. So now we can go ahead and we're going to replace this ahref link here with an image. But we want to make sure we're pulling an image from our newly created image folder, which is currently empty. Let's go ahead and we're going to minimize. I'm actually going to pull up Safari, and let's just Google an image here. I'm going to type in, since we're learning HTML5, let's grab a picture of HTML5 something. Alright, so the future is landing. This looks pretty cool. I'm going to select view image here, and I'm just going to right click and I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to save this as future, and let's save this to the desktop. That's fine for now. Go ahead and exit out, and I'm also going to open up HTML practice, and I'm going to make sure that I drag future into my images folder. Now I can access this image and put it on my website. So let's go back into brackets and see what we can do to bring this to life. I'm going to delete this line here. Oops. Between the H1. Let's get organized. And let's add our image. So we know we can add an image by selecting our image tag. And we do a space source, enter. And then from here we would either put the URL, but now what we can do, and it's going to give us some options here, is we would select images here from our dropdown, or we would type in images dash. So I'm going to select images, and the only other option here is images-future.png. So that is the file that we have stored within our images folder. So we can see that the source is going to a folder within our website, images, and it's selecting the future.png. So this is a PNG file. We can use PNGs, GIFs, JPEGs, pretty much all of the different files you can imagine. So after this, we can go ahead and add an alt tag, and we'll just write, let's do HTML5 is the future. And that'll be our alt tag. And if we remember correctly, this is a self-closing tag, so we'll just end it with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this. Let's open it up in our browser, and there we go. We have that massive picture here. Now, if you do recall, I said that we ought to add, if we know the size of our image, we should add the size of the width and the height. Which is really interesting is if we select our images over here on the left side, we can actually automatically find our size here, and we can also get the image extension, so we can find and copy this directly in, so images-future.png. But we know that our picture is 1680 by 1050. So let's go ahead and just do that really quickly. So 1680 in width. So I'm going to do a width of 1680 pixels. And we're also going to give it a height. Can't type. Height of, I think it was 1050 pixels. And there we go. So I'm going to save that. Let's view it one more time. It really won't have changed anything. You won't notice that, but it is good practice to make sure that you're including the width and the height of the image that we're using.